Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today, the day has finally come when I'm going to get my tyres changed on the Himalayan. I'm a bit of a tight arse, like to get my money's worth out of everything. It's still on its original tyres, but just done a big 3-day trip into Romania. That's just about finished it off. It was only road work, so I knew it'd be okay. Now let's have a look. What do we get out of the tyres? Yeah, you can see that 11 and a half, well, yeah, 11,587 kilometres out of the stock tyres, so they're not done too bad, are they? I'm not complaining. Now, I did buy these tyres about 6 months ago, and I just kept putting it off. I wanted to wait while, like I say, I'd worn the others out, and I have done now. Just show you what we've got, what we're going to fit today. Heidenau K60 Scouts. It's a very similar tread pattern to what's actually on. Now, the reason I bought these is because I live in Bulgaria, but we don't have a huge choice of stuff. You can get off-road tyres, quite a choice, big knobbly things, but not the adventure tyres, not my size on this anyway. So I think I had to get these from, I think one come from Bulgaria, I had to get the other one from Romania because we just don't have stuff here. So I was limited, but the reason I bought these is these was actually made in Germany. I think it might have it on the tyre somewhere. You can see that? Made in Germany. Now, the reason why I was pointing this out was a lot of the brands, back in the day, if you want to call it that, if it was like a Pirelli, it come from Italy. Michelin come from France, and this is what you would get. But now they make tyres all over the world, and I know some of the, it's like some of the Chinese bikes, the CF Motos have come out with, I think some of them have got Pirelli Scorpions, but they're made in China, and I reckon they're not fantastic. It's not the same Pirelli as you would have got from Italy, say. So I didn't want to put something on that was going to be crap, and I wanted to know where it come from. I know if you can order online, what comes is what comes, into it, you know. Nothing to say these would have been mixed, but these are both made in Germany, so I'm quite pleased about that. Now, I did think about doing a tubeless conversion on this. It wasn't until I checked the tyres, to be honest. These are tube type tyres, so forget that. I'm going to do a tubeless conversion on the Interceptor. So what I'm going to do, we'll get the tyres, the wheels out of the bike, and I'm going to take them down to the tyre place if they can do them for me, because with them being black rims, my rims are in good nick. There's no marks or scratches on them. And I'd like to keep it like that. One thing I have done, I've got a new rear tube to fit in. I don't know what the tube's like that's in it, because believe it or not, in all this time I've not had a puncture. Not in this bike anyway. So I bought a decent tube, reinforced, not the heaviest of duty, because they put two thicker tubes in that can rub. These thickness is 1.6 mil. There you go. So I'm going to put a new rear tube in the back. I'll just keep the other as a spare. Front, I'm not so fussed with it, like, but I haven't had a puncture at all with it, which is unbelievable because I did quite a bit of off-road with it. But anyway, I'm going to get the wheels out, take them down to the tyre place, we'll get them swapped, bring them back. I'm going to balance the wheels myself because they don't do balancing of wheels in Bulgaria at all. When I've done them, I took this with me to Romania just in case I did get a puncture. Right, it's called slime. I think a lot of you use this, and it's quite a common stuff. I think I'm going to put this in the tyres. It will, in the tubes when I get it back. But what I'll do is, it just helps prevent if you've got a puncture. Now, say I used to race enduros years and years ago for about 9 seasons, and you could take the wheel out, change a tyre in minutes. Now, no. No, I'm getting past that, I'm afraid. So I was hoping to do a tubeless conversion on it because it's easy to plug a tyre that's got no tube in it, but I can't do it on this. So I'm going to put the slime in it, I think. It's just, well, save me from getting a puncture. Now, I always clean my bikes every time I ride them. It's like my Himalayan still looks like new. It's only because I clean it meticulously all the time. I treat it as though it's a road bike, even though I've ridden off-road with it. It's hardly got any scratches on, actually. So I think I've only fell off it once. So that's how I like to keep it. And I'll be doing more road work on it than off-road now. Last time I was off-road, it about knocked me about a fair bit. So I was off my feet for a while, which the wife wasn't too happy about. So I'm going to stick on the road, I think. So I'm going to put this slime in. It's going to help me prevent punctures. Now, like I say, the only thing is I do clean my bike every time I use it, which means that when you're cleaning it, obviously you're going to clean the wheels. You're going to be turning the wheel. I always check my wheels, because the only thing I don't like about the slime is I could have something stuck in the tyre, and without checking your wheels every time, I don't want to be riding around with a great nail stuck at an angle or something. In my eyes, isn't the best, is it? No, you don't know what's going to happen at, well, the giddy speeds of 100 kilometres an hour I ride this. But as long as I check it every time, if there's something in it, I can take it out. And if I had to, I'd have to take the tyre off and I'd patch it from the inside. So it's not as though I'm going to keep riding it with a lump of metal stuck in it or something. Anyway, I'll crack on, get these wheels out. I'll get them down to the tyre place. We'll get them swapped. I'm going to balance the wheels when I get back, because you can't balance the wheels when you've got the slime in, because the slime always settles at the bottom of the wheel. Then as the wheel spins, it runs round. But it doesn't set. It's always a continuous liquid, so you can't balance the wheels when you've got the slime in, because the wheels will be weighted at one end. So balance them before you put it in, let the air out, put the slime in and blow them up to your pressure you wanted. Right, I'm waffling on here, aren't I? So I'll get the wheels out, get them down to tyre company, we'll get them swapped, put new tube in the rear, bring them back, I'll balance the wheels here, I'll probably show you that, and we'll get them back in then. See you in a bit. Right, I took my tyres down to the tyre company yesterday, and he says, I was a bit busy, he says, give me your phone number, I'll give you a ring when I got them done. Thinking a couple of hours. No phone call yesterday at all. So I went down today, and there they was, still stood up against the wall where I put them, and even touched them. So there's nothing I hate worse than when somebody says they'll do something and they don't do it. So I picked them up, brought them home, and I've done them myself. I've just balanced the front wheel, and I put the green slime in this one as well, and I put it back in the bike. That's the front one on. Nice new tyre. All balanced up, ready to go. Now, I've got the back one on the bench. That's the tyre. Quite impressive, aren't they? These, I quite like these. Heidenau Scout, 120, 90, 17 for the Himalayan rear. Yeah, it's got some deep tread in that, hasn't it? Okay, looks quite nice. Very sexy, I think. Just shows what happens when you're getting older. You think a tyre's sexy, isn't it? Used to be women at one time of day, but there you go. I've got to balance it. Now, what I use are these brass weights. I like these because I can take them off, and you get a packet, and they're all different sizes. And they fix on with a little grub screw in here with, you get a Allen key in the packet. You just tighten them onto the spokes. Very good they are. Right, now the wheel has been spinning, it's not stopped yet. Let's have a look. It looks like it's quite out of balance, this. Yeah, very much so. If a wheel's a little bit out of balance, it'll just come to a slow stop. When they're a lot out of balance, they've got this pendulum effect, like this one has. Right, so straight line from here, up, so we're looking somewhere about here. So I think we'll just start with a heavy weight for a start. Probably on the back, I think. There. It just slots onto your spoke, and then you tighten that grub screw up with your Allen key. Just bring that round here. There you are. You can see I slid it on the spoke. There's a recess in the top of it. Put your Allen key in. Just nip it up tight. Alright. Alright. Put the weight so we're opposite each other, so it's not at the bottom now. Then give it a spin. I will have to go. I've got the metal down here. I'm going to make a proper stand for doing this because it's surprising. I've had to re-true the front wheel on the Himalayan, which you do on the same sort of thing for doing your spokes. I've got a dial gauge that runs on the rim to check it. I've just done that. A couple of spokes was loose on this, so I've also twitched them up, check the wheel if it's straight, and obviously balancing the wheel. And I've got 3 bikes that have all got spoke wheels, so I really ought to build myself something. I've been using the axle stands long enough, really. When it's not on camera, it doesn't matter. This is great, but it don't look very professional, shall we say, but it does the job. Mind you, there's more people liable to have a set of axle stands in the garage than they are a proper wheel truing or balancing stand, isn't there? Alright, let's have a look what I'll be like. No, it's still out, you see. We were spinning it anti-clockwise and now it's stopped and it's going clockwise. Crikey, it's a long way out, this is. Yeah. I think one on here. Crikey, it's quite out, this is. Never mind. Off-road bike, innit? Don't help with these chunky tyres you're fitting on. So I'm going to put one in there, same thing. Slot it on, put Allen key in there. Tighten it up. Start here, then give it a bit of a spin. Thing is, I've ridden this off-road, so you're going to get the rims out of balance a bit, but also great big chunky tyres like this, they're not road tyres, they're not made for high speed, especially on the Himalayan, are they? But that could be a bit why it's not helping it. Now usually the tyres either have a yellow dot on them or 2 red dots, and what you do if you see the dots on your tyres, usually put that where the valve is. That means that they've balanced the tyre has been sort of balanced in the factory where it's made. When you're doing this, also gives you a chance to check your wheel bearings and check the condition of the disc and the spokes, check if you've got any loose spokes or any broken. That's bad, but if you've got, check your spokes before you take your tyre off. Right, still want some more on it, crikey. So straight line up is about there still, so I think I'm going to go for here. I'm going to put one that's quite a bit smaller on. Same sequence, slide it on until it comes to the stop, put your Allen key in, tighten the grub screw up. Oh, it's a bit of a long-winded job filming it, but it's got to be done. I can trim some of this out so it's not such a long video. While we're waiting for this tyre to stop, I'm thinking about doing some a bit more blogging, sort of sitting down talking about certain things, bikes, repairs. So I'll get Sue to put email address on this, and obviously you've got the comment section. So if any of you want me to talk about a particular subject, that will give me a start to start doing the blogs, because I didn't do them for a start because it's a bit sort of a, don't know how you're going to talk or come over or get on with speaking in the camera, but I've been doing it a year now. I'm getting a little bit better, I think. And I wouldn't mind having a go at that. because I get quite a lot of feedback on what we do. If any of you want to, Sue will put her email address in. If you've got pictures or subjects or anything you want to talk about your bike, you can put it on the email address, and then once a week I'm going to try and do a blog. We'll see how we get on. Can't say, well, yes, it's going to be every Thursday or something, because I might be crap at it, you know. We'll see. Anyway, let's get back to this tyre. Now, I think we might have got it. Let's try it somewhere else. Gosh, it's got some weight on, this has. But that stopped in a different place. All the weight was at 1/4 to, and the valve was at 1/4 past. But when we started, the valve was at 1/2 past. So we don't want it to stop in the same place again. If it stops in a different place, sort of random, we've got it. And it's quite surprising. When your wheel's out of balance, especially the front, it can be horrendous. I know years and years ago I had a GSX R11, and I've been out and I started to come home, and it started shaking and I couldn't go above 40 miles an hour. I thought, Christ, what's wrong with this? And all it was is that, you know, the stick-on weights you get, the weight had come off the wheel, and it was shaking that much. It was horrendous. And you'd think if you get more speed up, you'd get over it, but I couldn't. It was literally shaking the handlebars, and that all was that was it. The wheel was so far out of balance. Now, I did say these tyres, these are made in Germany. And this is what I tend to do now. If I can buy a branded tyre, I'd like to know actually where it was manufactured, because they're getting a lot now. The top brands are having them made in China. You'd think this would be the same rubber, but they're not. You know, it's like the Pirelli Phantoms that's on the front of or was on the front of the Interceptor. Awful things. That was causing handlebar shake, like speed wobble. It's horrendous, and it was known for it. Changed the tyres, put different tyres on, perfect now. Now, Pirelli's a worldwide brand, but these was made in Brazil, not Italy. Yeah, I think we're good enough now. Yeah, it's not moving, look. If it's out of balance, it'd be slowly creeping round. So that's new tyres on. Pure sex that, isn't it, eh? I think so. That's the wheels balanced. Right, what we're going to do now, put the other half of this in. Now, I assume you all know about this, but if you don't, I did quite a lot of research on this, and I know some other guys that's used it. It's supposed to be American. It says it's blended and bottled in USA. One bottle does front and back, half in half. So I've already put a mark on there, the red mark I put, look. That top half's already gone in the front. I'm going to put this in the rear. Now, why I've balanced the wheel is this slime doesn't set. It's a liquid, constant liquid. So if I was to try and balance this wheel after I put the slime in, the slime would end up in the bottom of the wheel. Now, when you're going down the road, this spins round and evens itself out. But it ain't going to even itself out with balancing on a static balancer like I'm doing here. You'd never get it balanced. So balance your wheel first with the tyre blown up. When you've got it balanced like I have now, we're going to take the valve out, and I'm going to put this slime in here, put the valve back in, and then I'm going to blow the tyre up, okay? All right, take the valve out. Right, your bottle has a little tube with it. What you do, push that on there, tip it upside down, and squeeze the rest of this container full of stuff in. You can see it going in the tube, bright green. Now, what this will do, if you've got, while you're out riding, if you pick a nail up or a thorn or something like this, it will seal the hole. And I've seen it work. It does work well. One of the problems with it is you can't put a tyre pressure gauge on it. When you check your tyre pressures I had my valve at the top here, so the stuff should be at the bottom. As soon as I put the tyre pressure gauge on, it was a digital one, this green stuff went inside the gauge, knackered the gauge up, never worked again. So that is a bit of a problem. But if you've got a pump or a tyre pressure gauge that's got pressure behind it, put the valve to the top, blow your tyres up, then you can test your pressure, because all this stuff is at the bottom. Just a bit of a tip. I should take some squeezing out. That's it. Now, using this stuff isn't a problem for me, because I always clean my bikes every time I've ridden them, without fail. Always have done. I'm going to put the valve back in now. So that means when I clean a bike, I'm real particular, cleaning underneath and everywhere. It's not like a quick wipe round, so it's perfect. I'm just going to spin this wheel now. When I spin this wheel, that stuff's lining the inner tube inside. Yeah, when I clean a bike, I'm particular with it, so I'll clean all the spokes and everything. If you always look at my bikes, they always look spotless. That gives me a chance, when I'm cleaning it, I'll look in the back of the tyre like this. And it means if you had a big nail stuck in, depending on what it was, if it's a small nail, you could just pull it out. But you've still got a puncture, and this stuff saved you from having a flat tyre. I know some guys, I changed the tyre for a lad, and he had about, it must have been half a dozen thorns and little nails and all sorts of bits in his tyre. And because his tyre never went down, he never looked at it. And it did hold its pressure, but I'm not keen on it myself. I suppose it's not bad if something goes in there and it's flat, but I mean something that's like, let's see, something like this, that's stuck in at an angle, is stuck in your tyre like that. To me, that could rip the tyre open. So if I've looked at my tyre like this and I see a piece of metal stuck in or a nail or something, you pull it out. What I do, I take the tyre off and put a patch on the inside of the tyre. And then you could patch the tube, but I only do that if I've been out. I put new tube in. What you don't want is a blowout, do you? You know, even at sort of 60 mile an hour, there's a good chance that you could lose it. And then we all know what's going to happen. So for me, this stuff works brilliant. It means I'm going to get home, and every time I clean my bike, which is every time I've ridden it, I also check to see what condition the tyres is in. You only got to spin it like this. If you don't see nothing big in it, to be honest, if there's a little tiny thorn in or something, I'll probably leave it. But one of the things, if it's gone right through the tyre and into the tube, you will see green come out. So you know if it's punched a hole in the tube. So it's up to you what you do, but that's my look at on it. This slime is going to save me stopping on the side of the road, taking the wheel out, mending the puncture. Now, when I was younger, it wasn't a problem at all. You know, I could do it in a matter of minutes. But when you're in your 60s, it can be a pain, you know. Especially like these tyres, I put these on and they was tight, mega tight. The walls on these are quite stiff. So, you know, if you stood on the side of the road doing it, it has to be pissing down with rain or something. Or if you're off-road and you're in the mud, that's even worse, isn't it, you know. So, yeah, I think the stuff works well. It's non-setting, so it's constantly moving. So if you have a puncture, the stuff's always there that can fill the hole again. So I use it. It's up to you whether you use it, but it's very good. I was going to do a tubeless conversion on this, but two things stopped me. Firstly, I ordered the tyres and I decided afterwards I was going to do a tubeless conversion. Then when the tyres come, the tube type. So that was a bit of a no-no, wasn't it? The other thing is, I do ride off-road, not like I used to, but you know, I do tracks and bits and bobs still. And you do run over rocks, because like I say, you go down a track, unless you know the track, you never know what's down there, do you? It could look brilliant for the first half a kilometre, then it turns into, where it's been raining hard, just rock. and you're running over rocks, you get damage a wheel, you've got a loose spoke. Or when you've done a tubeless conversion, if you're adjusting the spokes, you've got to turn that piece there where my spanner's sat on, look, there, that's what you adjust. You've got to adjust that, so that's going to turn inside the rim, which is going to be turning inside the sealant to seal these rims to tubeless. So then you're going to have a leak again, so I decided against it. Well, I had no choice, I bought the tyres anyway. So I've got tubes in here. I just put a brand new tube in this, a thicker quality one, so it might help a bit more. I'm just going to blow the tyre up now, and when I'm going to replace the wheel in the bike, and I'm just going to give it a buzz down the road. So you don't need to see me putting my wheel back in, do you? So I hope this was useful. I think it is. I've shown you how to balance it with these brass weights. You get these off eBay, come in packets. You're better off buying a couple of packets, they're not expensive at all. So if it's useful, please give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe, because without you subscribing, it doesn't cost you anything, but I can't keep the channel going long term. It's like I've done thousands and thousands of kilometres on the road this year doing videos, and you will not believe the fuel bill alone. I'm still running at what little bit of money we make off YouTube. I'm running at a major loss. 5 times, maybe 10 times more I've spent than what I get back in. So please subscribe, it does help me. If you subscribe, people are going to want to put adverts on my channel, which helps me a little bit. Any comments, leave them down below. And like I said earlier, I'm thinking of doing one day a week a blog on, I don't know, it could be on the Himalayan, it could be on the Interceptor, it could just be on bikes in general, all sorts of things, age bikers are and all this sort of thing. There's a few YouTubers do it. I just fancy having a go at it. So I've got my confidence up a bit talking on the camera. As you notice, I'm good at waffling on now. So if you've got any ideas, you want me to talk about anything, I'll get Sue to put the email address on this. You can send me pictures of your bike or pictures of something you want me to talk about or discuss about, and then I'll do it. And I can put them down and we'll do them the following week for you, or the week after that. Right, see you in the next video again then. Cheers.